So our today's topic is so why network models? Because we need communication rules in common between. It is a good statement given by Colin Cherry between transmitter and the receiver. So we need to model out these rules so that a well-established communication can be set up between a transmitter and a receiver. Someone is joined. Admit Suman Kumar. Okay. So we need network models. So whenever we need to break up a establish a model, a complex computing model, we need to establish we need to break that work into several stages. So let us move to the next slide. So we are talking about network communication. So in general, go for a communication. For example, in a postal system, so many interrupts are coming. How to manage? I'm joining very late. So network communication. So whenever we establish a communication, for example, a person is communicating to another person using a mail or a postal system. What we have, we break this system different levels of handling. So when a sender sends a letter, it is and it is dropped in the mailbox, then it is carried from the mailbox by the postman, and it is handed over to the post office, and there the post office is connected to the network system, through which it is carried to the destination, and where the letter to the location where the letter, and the letter is given to the mailbox of the receiver, and from there the receiver pick up the letter and open up the envelope. So a general communication in a postal service, we break it in different levels of hierarchy. So in computing system, we have so many interrupts. Bulbul Kashyap. So we have different layers of breaking of a problem into sub problems. In computing model, we have a layered approach. For example, why they are joining so late? It creates a disturbance in the class. Anyway, so we break the communication, or we break basically the network communication is a work of computing. We want to get it on a network. So we break that work into several layers. So what is the basic idea? The basic idea is to break that in hierarchy. Which layer should be at the higher level, and which layer should be at the lower level. Next, we break it. Hierarchy means we divide that hierarchy in terms of services. That the higher layer, that is the top layer, will be taking the services of the lower layer. Lower layer will be getting the services of the further lower layer. In this way, we break the total work of communication in regular computing. What we do, we have machine level language, we have assembly level language, like that. So whenever we are going for a computing work, we break that work in different hierarchy, and the hierarchies are meant with a dedicated services. Also, whenever there is a sender and a receiver, we need to establish communication between the different levels of hierarchy. So there are two major aspects when we want to establish a network communication, or we want to model a network communication. We need to address these two things because it is a complex computing work. So we need to address it in terms of hierarchy. The hierarchy will be handled in terms of services, and also the intermediate layers will be communicating to the corresponding intermediate layers, the sender and the receiver. So there should be a peer-to-peer communication between the different layers of the sender and the receiver. So this is the postal system. This what happens in the postal system. So this common concept is applied in the network establishment, network communication also. So what they follow? They follow a layered task. They break the whole network in a layered way. So what is the approach? See, computer networking both are taking the same concept of layering. Why? Because we cannot do all the work using a hardware. If you would have done the whole computing work, imagine that you want to do a program and the whole program instruction has to be written in the hardware language. You want to do it in a hardware language. You need a complex machinery of circuitry or of the hardware. That's why we go for abstraction for a machine level computing. We go for abstraction for a symbolic computer, that is assembly level language. We go for a high level computing, that is C language and application languages. Why? Just for the abstraction. So computing also goes abstraction, and it breaks the whole work of computing in different layers, such that the lower layer will be taking the robust works and the higher layers will be taking care of the instructions to be fed to the lower, how the work has to be done. How the work has to be done. Similarly, in networking also we have layers of computing. We have two models. One is the OSI model and TCP/IP model. We have two models of networking through which we establish a layered approach in which different work of computing is dedicated to different layers. Different work of computing in terms of networking is dedicated to different layers. Again, someone is coming. So not a single hardware is capable to do networking task. If we have to do the whole networking work, we need to establish dedicated hardware. Maybe it be for a computing, may it be for a networking. Our approach is to go for a layered work in which we dedicate specialized functions or functionality to different layers. We have seen that there is a layer in the upper layer to correct the message. There is a middle layer that is carrying the message. There is a lower layer that is handing over the message or the envelope to the postal network system. So we have different layers of handling. In every layer we are putting dedicated functions so that the whole work of communication can be established in different layers. This layering concept is applied in both computing and in the networking also. The models that we use in the concept are OSI model and IP model. We are going to study these two models. So OSI model and TCP/IP model. The OSI model. See, ISO, International Standard of Organization, was established in 1947, and you know it very well. ISO today, so many things are certified from ISO. And while network was being established, so they want it to be standardized. So they started modeling the whole how the network has to be made, how the network has to be established. So they start modeling. The model that came out of that study was OSI model. So it consists of, in 1970s, so it consists of 7 layers. So first layer is the physical layer. They devise the whole work of networking, the communication. You can say that the 7 layers are the 7 different modules dedicated to do seven different tasks, 7 arena of tasks, zone of tasks. So they divided the whole work of communication sender to receiver in 7 zones. So first is the application, presentation, then session, transport, network, data link, and physical. So we need to know how they devised the 7 layers. So it was developed in 1970s. So it was never been implemented, and it was a developing model. That is, it was always under study. What was implemented was TCP/IP. Why? Because TCP/IP at that time, Unix users were very prominent in the market, and because it was an open source sense, and people were doing so many experiments over the globe to better a program of Unix kernel. So someone wrote networking communication, someone wrote logical addressing, so many things that can be done with Unix systems. People were doing with those things, and in the other side, the research organizations were thinking of a layered approach how that thing can be devised. So it was never been implemented, it remained always in. So they thought of the whole networking approach as a, to put it as a model. It was to be implemented, but it never did. So the idea is that it is a model for understanding and designing network architecture that is flexible, robust and interoperable. So the whole purpose to devise this model, that it can be implemented in any network system. It should be robust. A uniform, robust network architecture has to be implemented, and that has to be robust. That is, it should be very fault tolerant. So they break the whole work of networking in 7 layers. So it is a layered framework for design of network systems that allows communication between all types of computers. So the objective of designing the OSI model was to break the whole network communication from the sender to the receiver through the media link in a layered way, so that this model can be applied for any kind of system, any kind, whichever operating system the computer may be using. This network layer, this whole layered approach model that. So with this mind, that is, the whole focus was not on implementation, the whole focus was upon the development, upon the research, what has to be done, what need to be done, kya karna chahiye. It was never been implemented. The layers were created by identifying, defining and localizing different network functions and their uses. So they divided the functionality of the networking from the sender to the receiver to connect the sender and the receiver in 7 working zones, and for each working zones they devised specific functionalities. So in application layer, specific functions were dedicated to take care of the applications that is being run on the network. In the presentation layer, they devised special modules and the functions through programming, obviously, because nothing can be accomplished with hardware. So networking basically a combination of hardware and software. So they devise the modules that can take care of the presentation of the data over the network. For example, now presenting the slide to you, so it should be handled by the presentation layer. It is the work of the presentation layer. According to the model, it should be handled by the presentation layer. It should be readable to you. Session layer. So while I am talking to you, it is a session of 1 hour or 50 minutes. So this session has to be synchronized and maintained, that I not lag behind or you not lead ahead. So transport layer, it has to be transported from my service, that is my PowerPoint service I am sharing with you. I am sharing my from Google Chrome, I am using the Google Gmeet option or service. So from that service to connect to your services also. So the layers were created by identifying, defining and localizing different network functions. So every layer has its own functionality. So they try to discriminate special groups, and in every groups they put some group of functionality that is the overall work of that layer. And in all these layers has to be present in the sender and both in the receiver. So the sender application layer will be communicating with receiver application, and the presentation sender layer in the presentation layer in the sender side would be communicating with the presentation layer in the receiver side. In that sense, they designed that it should be a peer-to-peer communication. It offers a comprehensive, flexible interoperability model between incapable systems. So what was the purpose of designing OSI model? That is very precise, very short and to the point, and it should be very flexible enough that it should handle every kind of application, every kind of presentation. So it can be transported from any device, any process to any process. It can connect any network, any kind of network. It can handle any kind of media link. It can handle fiber optic. It can handle coaxial cable, any kind of physical network, physical media, wireless. It should be handle any kind of physical network. So it should be very interoperable and should be very good with incompatible systems. For example, a sender is using the Mac system, Macintosh operating system, and the user is using the Linux operating system, and another receiver is using the Windows operating system. So there should not be any disturbance or misunderstanding between the communication between whether the users having different hardware and software resources at their disposal. So the sender may have different hardware, a receiver may have different hardware. A sender may be running its operating system from a disk. A receiver may be running a operating system through his flash drive or any other disk. So there should not be any discrimination about the communication. It should be very compatible across the systems. Next is communication is governed by an agreed upon rules. Someone is messaging. So communication is governed by an agreed upon series of rules and called protocols. Communication from the sender to the receiver has to be guided by the protocols. So application will come to the application layer of the receiver with the help of protocols. So there should be dedicated protocols for every layer. So what are protocols? We need to know about protocols. What is a protocol? A protocol is a synonymous with rule. It is the same that we say as rule. So the same is called as protocol. It consists of a set of rules that govern data communication at different layers. It determines what is communicated, how it is communicated, and when it is communicated. So it is talking about the syntax and semantics, meaning of the way it is represented, the way it should be formatted, the way it should be handed over to the medium at different layers, that the way it should be interpreted, the meaning of the data at the different layers, and the timing of the data in which they are being sent. So these are the three basic elements of a protocol. That is syntax. It says the structure and the format of the data, whether it is a video data, audio data, text data, how it has to be handled, whether it can be sent as a whole or it has to be chunked, it has to be chopped in small amount, in small sections, whether it indicates how to read the bits and the field delineation. So whenever we send a data, there are different fields. There is a field of the sender stamping, and the receiver stamping, destination stamping, and the time stamping, and the process stamping. So we should dedicate different fields, and different fields should be well lineated according to the format of the data. Semantics, what it says, it is the meaning of the data. A sender is sending a data, the receiver should be able to interpret the data, what is being sent to receiver. So if a sender is sending a data and the meaning or the format of the data is not clear to the, again the protocol is wrong. Again someone is trying to enter. And it should know which field defined which action. So whenever a data is coming from different layers, so if the different layers pack the data with different fields of information with respect to its level. So in every field there is a definition for the peer layer in the receiver side. For the layer in the sender side is sending a data to the must be communicating with the transport layer of the receiver side. So it will add a field concerning to its level, to its layer. So that field has to be interpreted. The meaning of that field has to be properly interpreted by the corresponding transport layer of the receiver matters in communication. Also the timing, when the data has to be sent and what has to be sent. That is the timeliness of the sending of the data. The speed at which, why these people are joining so late? Tafiz Khan. Speed at which the data should be sent or speed at which it is being received. So the synchronization and the flow of the data also has to be maintained at the different layers. We will see in details all about this, how the protocols at different layers take care of the overall communication. See, the protocol is not only a particular layer, it has to be distributed, the agreed upon rules, because there is always a peer-to-peer communication between the sender and the receiver. The sender will be communicating with the receiver in terms of its layers. So the physical layer of the sender will be communicating with the physical layer of the receiver. The data link layer of the sender will be with the data link layer of the receiver. So the data link layer of the sender will should have a protocol that should be common between the sender and the receiver. Only then the communication can be established up to that layer. So for example, if the protocol is matching at the physical layer but it is not matching at the data link layer, the communication will not establish, it will not fulfill, it will not continue, it will not even start. So these are the things that we need to take care while data communication is being established. And they in OSI model they said this word that a protocol has to be devised in different layers to establish the peer-to-peer communication. So they talked about two things, they addressed two things basically in the OSI model. One, the whole work of computing, basically networking is also a kind of computing, has to be broken down in different layers as we do a localized computing work in different layers, for example hardware, assembly language, high level language. Likewise, the whole work of networking, network computing should be broken down into different layers of in different hierarchy of layers. Every layer is designed to do a particular work, and every layer will work upon the lower layers based upon the services offered by the lower layers. So the upper layers cannot work without the services being offered by the lower layers. And whenever the layer is working, there is a communication, there is a relationship between the layer of the sender and the corresponding layer of the receiver in terms of the protocol. That is, in terms of what are the components of the protocol? Syntax, semantics and timing. So in terms of these three things, every layer should be communicating with its peer layer. So go back to the slide. The process on each machine that communicate at a given layer are called peer-to-peer process. So every layer is having its own processes. So not about physical, we can say that from the transport layer, every layer is having some dedicated functions. So each layer will be communicating with the functions of the corresponding layer. So how the interaction between the layers of the OSI model. So layers interact with each other in the OSI model. So here is two systems, one is the device A and the device B. See, in the whole OSI model was designed with 7 layers. They also told that between the layers should be an interface. What is the interface? The interface should be able to define and to establish communication, to establish the services between the layers. It addresses two things, it should define and it should establish the services between two layers. So I talked about services, so the services was established by this. Okay, so the whole work of computing in terms of hierarchy and in terms of hierarchy means in terms of services and in terms of protocol. So this two-way communication, 2D communication was designed to be established as network model, but it was never been implemented. So the interface is the work of interface is to define and to provide the service that the higher layer is supposed to get. So the application layer is supposed to get the service of presentation layer. The presentation layer should get the service of the session layer in this system. This should be done in this system also. So if we group this, they group the whole 7 layers into 3 groups, basic groups. One is the first group, that is 1, 2, 3. Another is the 5, 6, 7. Another is the 4. So the first 3 groups are the basic backbone of the network. So whenever a connection is being established, we need this backbone. We need a communication link, that is we need a physical link, a cable or wireless medium, whatever may be. we need device should be present in that link, that is the device should be connected, linked to that medium, that is for that aspect we need data link layer. Also the device addressed within a network, for that we need a network layer. So this is one group, and this should be the backbone of the whole internet or the whole company. Another, they devised this second group, that is the presentation and the processes that is being carried out in the maybe in process the sender may have three process: application process, session level process. So they grouped this, and under the second that the application processes should be communicating with the corresponding application processes of the receiver with a peer-to-peer protocol that should be agreed upon between these two parties. Session layer, similarly case is the session layer, because here we do with software. Once we go above the network or from the network, we are dealing with software. Once we are here at the physical layer and the data link, we are partially hardware and partially software. From 2 and 3, it is partially hardware and partially. 2 is partially hardware and partially software, but it is in 1, it is purely hardware. So you can see that the whole network communication can be thought of as a combination of the software and the hardware. And in the software level, we need to establish a peer-to-peer communication, and in the hardware level, we need an established backbone network or a backbone framework over which the software communication can be established at the peer-to-peer level in a layered way. So every layer is taking the services of the for example, layer 7 is the layer 6. This nth layer is taking the service of the n-1 layer. So what are these nodes? These are the intermediate nodes. That is basically it is a symbol of router. It can be, you can think over here that is a network in between through which the communication is being established. And all these layers are responsible to data that is being sent by the application, produced that has to be received by the sender. So all should be functional in device A, that is in the sender side, and all the layers similarly has to be functional in device B, and there should be agreement between different layers. Only then the communication can be established. So this was the thought process of SI model. They thought about the implementing the network in this way. Again I repeat, it was never implemented. So how the data is being exchanged? So whenever a data is produced by a sender computer, so it makes a data packet. When data is being handed, is to be produced to the network for a network communication. The data is to be made as a packet. Whenever we write a letter to our near and dear, we write the content, something that on the letter is our data. For example, hello. Hello is our data. Now the hello has to be marked with some stamp. So the first layer puts a header, that is header 7. The header will be remarkable. It will be identified only by hitting header 7 of the receiver side. It cannot be identified by any of the headers. So once this data is attached to the header is attached to the data, it makes a data packet. Now the whole data packet is handed over to the next layer, layer 6. Now this total packet becomes the data for the layer 6. The layer 6 puts its own header, attaches its own header to the data, and again it encapsulates it to make it data for the 5th layer. So when this total data comes to the 5th layer, the all corresponding header. So every layer is adding its header, and every header has been by the corresponding layers of the receiver side. So in this way, the data, that actual data that is being given by the sender, in every layer it is getting encapsulated. We can say that it is also a kind of data hiding. You might have read that in C++, data hiding and encapsulation. So in the first layer, the data is been encapsulated, and that capsule is again been encapsulated, again that encapsulated until the whole data is to be handed over to physical mode. When it comes to the data link layer, that is the layer 2, one extra, that is, it is not a header, it is a trailer being added to the whole packet to track the flow of the data, to track the receiving of the data, whether data is being properly received, to track the whether the communication is without error, the flow is proper. So many aspects we will come into that. So an extra trailer is being added in the data link layer for the to take care of the errors and the recoveries. Finally, when the whole thing is packed, it is the work of the physical layer to convert the data to the it is the work of the data link layer to convert the data to the corresponding bit, and it is the work of the physical layer as bits, that is add its physical node address, its physical connectivity address, and hand to the medium, transmission medium. Once it is received by the at the receiver side, encapsulation. So all the headers are being decapsulated, it's being detached from the message, the whole message, and finally we get the receiver gets. So in this way, virtually, if we can see that every layer is communicating with the corresponding layers. So virtually there is a peer-to-peer communication, and physically, that is in actual, there is a vertical communication. So the horizontal communication is, you can see that it is a virtual communication. Physical, that is the layer, through the layer, the communication is physical, because the actual data is passing to the lower layers being encapsulated, and this process is called encapsulation. In this way, they modeled that the whole network should work in this way. So these are the layers of the OSI model. So let us go to the different layers. So first is the physical layer. The physical layer, the work of the physical layer. So it takes care of the characteristics of the interfaces and the medium. So what kind of interface is being connected, whether it is a fiber optic, what amount of data it can be pushed in that medium, what is the interface, how it is connected, through which connective link I am connecting the medium to the host system. So it takes care of these aspects. Also it takes care of the representation of the bits. So when a data link layer is handing over the bits, converted bits to the physical layer, it takes care how the bits is to be sent. So it can be sent in serial, it can be sent in parallel. So how the bits can be sent, and how the bits has to be arranged in the physical medium. It also takes care of the data rate. So the medium transmission capability will decide what amount of data can be sent per unit of time. For example, if we have a fiber optic cable, we can have a higher data rate. For example, we are having a LAN, we are supposed to use Ethernet cable, and we will have a data rate of Ethernet cabling. It also takes care of the synchronization of bits. That is, when the data is being sent, it should be synchronized with the sender. The sender should also be receiving the corresponding bits in that order. So it takes care, the bits should be go in synchronization according to the receiver. It takes up the line configuration. What is line configuration? So whenever a device is being plugged into the physical layer, for example, whenever you connect to a physical layer, that is the cable layer, so the line configuration, how you are configuring. So configuration means how you are putting jack onto the cable so that it can be put onto the port, how you are opening the Wi-Fi, and whether you have the antenna to receive the Wi-Fi signal or not. So the physical aspects of receiving a signal is called the line configuration. That is how it is connected to the device, when the medium is at which port the line is connected to the device, through which interface the line is getting to the device. It also takes care of the physical topology. We have talked about topology, bus topology, ring topology, star topology. It also takes care of the physical topology. For example, we can have there is a main cable. So it is about the physical. It is about the physical layer to take care of topology. Which topology can be implemented? It also takes care of the transmission modes. That is, we have also talked about transmission modes. That is half simplex, half duplex, full duplex. So whether a medium is capable to transmit data on both sides simultaneously, or it can be one at a time from one side, or one at a time turn by turn. So this is the transmission mode that is being supported by the physical layer. So these are the aspects that is taken care by the physical layer. So we have 4 minutes left. We can go for that layer. So physical is for movements of individual bits from hop to hop node to the next. That is from one node to the next node. So physical layer, that is whenever I am connecting 2 computers or 3 computers, it is the work of the physical. Take care that from once it is handed over to the main hop, it should being received by the second hop. That is the next node. Up to that, it is the work of the physical layer. Beyond that, it will be about the higher layers. So data link layer. The work of the data link layer is framing. It is converting the information into small pieces of data. The whole big piece of data is being all at once. That, for example, if you go in the previous slide, see, this is the whole data that has to be sent. You can go over here. दिख रहा है ना सबको? Hello. So this is the whole set of data. So it is the link layer that how much data can be sent at a time. That in how many amount of data, in what amount of data can be sent at a time. That will be the burst rate of the medium. That is in कितने गुच्छे में डेटा को भेज सकते हैं. In how much amount at a time, how many data can be pushed to the physical layer. So it will divide the whole set of data. Okay, it will frame it with putting the header and the trailer, but it will piece the data into small pieces called frames. So the work of the data link layer is to create frames of the data coming from the higher layer. So, and these frames are converted to the digital form and handed over to the physical layer. Also, it takes care of the physical addressing. So whenever a device is connected to a local network, so in local network, what is the device ID? For example, you have your phone have a MAC address, that is media access control address. And whenever you are in the lab, every computer has a distinct presence in that local network. So it also gives the addressing of the node, physical addressing of the node, the physical presence of the node in the medium, whether it is connected to the wire, to the copper wire or the wireless medium. तो किस एड्रेस से वो जुड़ा हुआ है, उसका खुद का एड्रेस क्या है, कैसे उसको पहचाना जाए, how to address it locally in that medium, connected in that medium, uniquely identify that node locally in that medium. So it also addresses the aspect of physical addressing. It also addresses flow control. Flow control means at how much burst rate or speed the data has to be sent, because the sender, there is a data link layer at the sender network also, and at which rate it is supposed to receive the data. If it is sending more data and the sender is not having that much speed, it will put all the in its that is memory queue, and the data will be lost, and it will repeatedly send with the trailer that this data is missing, this data is missing. But where is the problem? The problem is in the flow control. So it must take care of control कि जितना वो ले सकता है उतना ही भेजेंगे. Receiver जितना ले सकता है, according to the receiver, it must synchronize to its flow. It should also take care of the error control. So if the receiver is acknowledging the sender that I haven't received the fourth packet, I haven't received the fifth packet. So what about the first, second, third, but fourth is missing, sixth is available, fourth, fifth is missing. So this should be the acknowledgement process by the receiver to the sender that there is an error in the overall communication. You are sending the data in frames, but I am missing the fourth frame or the frame. So please send it again. So there should be a recovery or the error control mechanism implemented in the data link layer. We should have an access control. That is how the node will access the medium. That one is the access to that medium. कैसे बताए कि जैसे ही आप once you plug your system through an internet on a computing network, a network is being given in the lab, and you have brought your laptop to that lab, and you are taking the Ethernet cable and putting it on the laptop. Once the laptop is connected to through the Ethernet cable given in the lab, so it is the work of the data link layer to identify your laptop with its physical presence and connect it to the medium. So it also gives the physical addressing, and it also gives you the access to the frequency or the signal that is being present in the lab Ethernet. So it also gives you the access to that medium, in the physical medium, that is in the physical layer, the signal system available in the physical layer. It gives you the access. So today it is 2:30. I think it is the time is over. So we'll conclude here. The next class will go ahead, आगे बढ़ेंगे. ठीक है.